Hello all. I am Pooja Dhayal and I have qualified UGC NET and JRF in management, and I am the faculty of paper 1 and paper 2 both of the commerce and management. And so today I would like to give you an introductory demo about teaching aptitude, which is the very important unit according to the NET point of view, because this is something like because you all know, like, why do we study teaching aptitude. So the main purpose of us to study teaching aptitude is that we are going to be the future professors and lecturers. So it is very necessary for us to, like, we should know, like, what should be the relationship between the teacher and the student, and therefore this is the main motive कि हम teaching aptitude पढ़ते हैं. Okay, so I would like to start with my first unit, which is the very important, that is teaching aptitude. And here I would like to tell you, like, what do you understand by the teaching? What is a teacher or what is teaching? So as you all know, teaching can be it can be defined as a process or a product where जहाँ पे टीचर को भी एक कॉमन पर्पस होता है और स्टूडेंट का भी एक कॉमन पर्पस होता है. ठीक है. सो मेन हमारा मोटिव ये है कि हम अगर टीचिंग एप्टीट्यूड पढ़ रहे हैं तो हम उसके अंदर हमारे पास कुछ कॉमन मोटिव्स होते हैं, एज इन कि स्टूडेंट को अपना एग्जाम क्लियर करना होता है, एंड टीचर हैज़ द पैशन टू टीच. ओके. सो therefore the main common objective between the two is this. So let's come to the nature of the teaching, like you all know. Firstly we'll discuss the definitions, like according to Morrison, what is teaching aptitude. So he defined teaching aptitude as a social process. Why is it a social process? Now if we talk about the nature or the characteristics. Firstly is we can say that it is a social process. Now why is it a social process? Because teacher doesn't अगर टीचर आपको पढ़ा रही है तो उसका कुछ ये मोटिव नहीं होता कि वो आपको उसको कुछ I can say that she has the monetary benefits, but also it can be her passion to teach, because according to my point of view, अगर आप एक टीचर बनना चाहते हैं तो इट इज़ वेरी नेसेसरी फॉर यू टू हैव दैट पैशन, लाइक यू शुड हैव द पैशन कि आपको अपनी नॉलेज शेयर करनी है, and also you should have the proper knowledge of the subject you are teaching. Then only you can be a great or better teacher or a better citizen. So main motive of a teacher is to make the students the better citizens of the country, or like whatever it is. So to be a better citizen, it is very necessary for us, like कि हम teaching, therefore it is a social process. ठीक है. Now second is dynamic. Like I can give you an example, like here कि अगर मैं डायनामिक बोल रही हूँ टीचिंग को, तो why it is dynamic. डायनामिक का मतलब होता है चेंजिंग. सो चेंजिंग क्यों है? बिकॉज अगर ना, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम टीचिंग यू टुडे, ओके, सो इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट टुमारो ऑल्सो द सेम मी विल बी टीचिंग you. It can be some other teacher also. So also we can consider here the factor that even if I am also teaching you yesterday also, tomorrow also, then it is not necessary कि जैसे मैं आज पढ़ा रही हूँ वैसे ही मैं कल पढ़ाऊंगी. So it is not important कि मैं अगर आपको आज एक मोटिवेशन से पढ़ा रही हूँ, एक स्पीड से पढ़ा रही हूँ, तो it is not necessary कि मैं कल भी आपको वैसे पढ़ाऊंगी, because human nature is changing. So therefore teaching is also changing. Then the third point here we can consider is that, like teaching is both art plus science. Now how can we say that teaching is art? If we say teaching is art, what meaning do you imply by art? Art is basically creativity. So why it is, you all know teaching is a creative activity. How it is a creative activity? Because if we like consider school level teaching, or it can be anything, it can be at all levels of teaching, then you have the chance to be creative. So creative can be like teacher can use the different methods, so creative methods, so that you can understand the point of view of the topic and you can understand the topic clearly. So the main motive of this is to be creative. The second thing here we consider is the science. Why it is science? Science is related to the laws and theories. So here we can say that it is theories. Why? Because here in teaching we use various laws and practices and theories and formulas. So therefore we can say that it is science as well. Now we will discuss this again in our proper class. From here I am coming to the types of teaching, or it can be, I can say that teaching is a tripolar process. Now why I can say that teaching is a tripolar process? Because if we consider a triangle, it has three edges. So here we can see that here is the teacher, here is the student, and here is the most important thing, that is the content. So content can be online, offline, or it can be any study material you have at that moment. So therefore the three edges here can be said a tripolar process. So therefore it is a tripolar process. Now if we consider more factors in this, like we have three variables in teaching. Now variables, first variable if we consider here is dependent variable. Now who is the dependent variable? We can say that dependent variable is student. Why student is dependent variable? Because student is dependent on the teacher and the content as well. Because student sometimes, like if we also if you are studying at all levels, like in school level the student is more dependent on the content as well as the teacher. In graduation level, or it can be in higher levels of studies, the student is dependent on the mentor or the professors they have. So the second thing here is independent variable. Now who is the independent variable? Independent variable is the teacher. Now how can we say that independent variable is teacher? Because teacher is not dependent on anyone. Teacher is independent because teacher has the freedom to teach you anything she would like to teach you, and she has the freedom to explain you in any way she is entrusted to teach you. So therefore teacher is an independent variable. Now the third thing is that is the intervening variable. Now what is the meaning of intervening variable? Intervening variable is the intermediate. Why it is intermediate? Because it comes between the dependent variable and the independent variable, which is intervening, that is in between, which comes in between of dependent variable and independent variable. That is we can say here example as in the content or anything which is available to you in the study material form. So therefore it is an intervening variable. These are the three main variables we have. Now I would like to discuss the just wait a second here. The three most important styles of teaching. So first one is authoritative. Now what do you understand by authoritative? Authoritative, the person who has the authority, to lead you, to control you, to mentor you. So who has the authority? So here we can say that teacher has the authority, and she has the power to control the class or to modify the class as and when she wants to. And therefore we can say that teacher has the authority to she can scold you, she can give you homework, she can make you do work. So she has the authority, and here in this case the teacher is active and the student is passive. Why teacher is active? Because teacher has the active role, like she is dictating, like I am teaching you and you are just listening, you are not questioning me, and I cannot question you because I am teaching you in a video lesson. So therefore here in this case I can say that I am the authoritative, I can teach you whatever I would like to. So therefore it is authoritative. The second thing here we can say that democratic. Now what do you understand by democratic? Democratic may both the parties have the same or level of control and the freedom. So here democratic can be the student. Now here both teacher plus student get along with hand in hand because they have both the equal level of control and equal level of responsibility. And like here like for in authoritative I can say that this in school level where the teacher teaches the small children, she just dictates and the students just note down, like they copy the notes and they refer to the notes that which are provided by the teacher only. So here in democratic, the students can question the teacher and the teacher can also question the students like why is it like and why it is not like that. So here we can say it is a democratic style where both share the equal responsibility. Here the teacher and the student both are active. Both are active, and here teacher only active and student is passive. Passive as in the student just listens to whatever the teacher teaches him or her. Then the third thing here we can say that laissez-faire. Now what do you understand by laissez-faire? Laissez-faire means freestyle. Freestyle. This style is like this widely used in when you are in PhD or you are doing research. So in these fields, laissez-faire style is used because here I can give you an example, like if you are doing research work and then the teacher doesn't have any role, I can say that you only have to do all the work. Like a teacher can guide you, can mentor you, but what to do and how to do it is all you can do it because teacher cannot do your work. So here it is a freestyle where the student is given the freedom to do anything, any topic he would like to do the research on. So therefore it is laissez-faire. Here the student is active and the teacher is passive. So this is all for today's class. I hope you like the class and thank you so much.